Alright, good day and welcome. So in the last video I did about the Rankin and Bass Christmas Cinematic Universe, I talked about how there was this giant story arc involving 8 different Christmas specials and how the story was told in 3 different phases. Kind of similar to how Marvel does it with their storytelling in their Marvel Cinematic Universe. In the Rankin and Bass one, the stories revolved around 3 different characters. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty the Snowman, and of course everyone's favorite jolly feller, Santa Claus. We also tossed in a bit of Jack Frost there just to be kind. It was also really awesome to see how they expanded the modern Christmas mythos and expanded the whole realm, and they also expanded into other realms as well. So now, I would like to expand even further into the biblical era, because there was a bunch of Rankin and Bass specials done in that era. This is what I would like to call Phase 4. They are linked to the other 8 Christmas specials here, but they're not exactly at the same time, so they do deserve their own phase. So without any further ado, let's take a looky-loo and right on. Okay, so let's start off in 1968 with The Little Drummer Boy. And as most Christmas specials here happen with Rankin and Bass, they revolve around a popular Christmas song, and this one's no different. So we start off with Aaron, who is the little drummer boy. He's playing on his drums, and he's having a good time with his 3 animal friends, Samson, Baba, and Joshua. They're all dancing along, everyone's having a good time. There's a caravan of performers led by Ben Haramid and his sidekick Ali that come along, and they notice the act going on. They're like, hey, we can get those guys in our caravan, and we can make a lot of money off them, because that's a pretty cool act to see animals dance like that. So they kidnap him, and they force him and his friends to kind of join the caravan, which is pretty bad. But Aaron doesn't want to do it because he hates humanity. He hates people. We have a flashback and we find out why he hates people. When he was younger, living on his farm, he's having a good time with his parents. They gave him a drum and everything. It was wonderful. But then later on in the evening, some bandits came along. They stole all the livestock. They killed his parents. And then they burned everything down. Like, this is a children's Christmas special. I gotta tell you, as an adult, I'm emotionally compromised by this, And then on top of everything, Aaron gets kidnapped. Like, of course he hates humanity. Like, a lot of bad things have happened to him. But he does, seeing as he is kind of in this group now, he has to perform. So he does. They perform in Jerusalem for a bunch of people waiting to be taxed. And, everyone loves the song he did and his friends dancing and all that. He gets mad because he's like, you people shouldn't be happy about this. I hate people. People gave me misery, so I don't want you guys to be happy. Everyone gets upset about this, and they kick him and all the performers out of town. So now the performers are out in the desert, where they come across the 3 wise men, the 3 kings. And, of course, Ben wants to perform for them so that he can get a lot of money off of it. But the kings are like, hey, we're pretty busy. We're following the star. We're heading off to Bethlehem because there's this new king that's born, so we want to check everything out. So, Ben's bummed out, but then they notice that the kings, they have one of their camels, just can't make the trip anymore, just kind of keels over. So, Joshua, the camel, is sold to the kings by Ben, and Ben gets all his money. Aaron's upset because his friend is gone now, but Aaron and Baba and Samson, they escape. They go to Bethlehem to get Joshua back. While they're there, Baba gets hit by a cart driven by a Roman centurion, which is horrible. So he's on death's bed. So Aaron wants to get help from one of the kings, saying, hey, can you please help me out here? And the king is like, hey, I'm just a mortal. I can't really do anything. But the new king, he might be able to help you out. Maybe if you give him a gift, that's a sign of good, good faith. So Aaron plays his drum for him. He feels the love from the child. He just plays with love. And he kind of realized that his hate in humanity is kind of misplaced and kind of wrong. That sure, people have done bad things to him, but not everybody has done bad things to him. So he kind of breaks his vow of hating people. And with that, Baba is saved, and everyone is happy at the end. So this is a lot of weird things have happened, but at the end, it's kind of a positive story. So it was pretty good. Alright, now we're in 1976 with The Little Drummer Boy Book 2, and this one is obviously a direct sequel to the last one here, but it's such a direct sequel that it starts off at the very ending of the last one. We're all hanging out in Bethlehem around the manger, having a grand old time, and the 3 kings are like, you know what, it's been pretty wicked awesome here, but we gotta split back home, we got stuff to do there. So they do that. Except for Melchior. He's like, I got a buddy named Simeon who lives around here. I'm gonna go pay him a visit. He's a bell maker, and he's making these silver bells to commemorate the birth of the new king, and he's gonna play them for him. So it's pretty cool that they're kind of incorporating the song Silver Bells, although lyrically that song is all about modern day Christmas shopping and not too much to do with, biblical times, but hey, it is what it is, right? But Simeon's, hanging out at home, doing his bell thing and having a fun time with that, until these Roman taxpayers come down, break down the door, like, hey, give us some money because, you owe us taxes. They notice the silver bells, they're like, well, we'll take those instead. Like, that's pure silver, man. It'd be crazy not to take that. So the taxpayers are led by Brutus and his lackey Plato, and man, Brutus is such an awesome character in this. It's pretty darn funny. So seeing as these bells are pretty difficult to kind of transport around and whatnot, they decide, hey, we're going to smelt these bells down into bricks to make it easier to move. Meanwhile, Melchior and Aaron meet up with Simeon and they're like, yo, man, these guys stole my bells. Can you help me out? So they go try to track down the bells. They do find the camp of the Romans trying to start a fire. Of course, they see Aaron and they see his drum set, so they use that as kindling and they start to fire with his drums. So as if Aaron didn't lose enough already. Now the one thing he had left was his drum set. Now that's gone. But while the Romans are building the fire, the animals, Joshua, Baba, and Samson, they steal the cart that the bells are on, and nobody notices this. They hide the bells in the sand in the desert, because what's a couple more sand dunes just kind of hither and dither, right? So the Romans don't find them. The bells are saved. And Simeon cranks the sound on the silver bells, plays them, like the next day, and everything's wonderful. Now, he doesn't play the song Silver Bells, which is actually pretty good. He instead plays the song Do You Hear What I Hear? And the bells are playing in the background, and it sounds really nice. Also, Melchior is like, hey, Aaron, sorry about your last drum set, but here's a drum set for you. So I guess, Merry Christmas, and yeah, so that's how it ends. This one is actually really awesome. I do like it. It's really charming. The characters are pretty funny and pretty awesome, and even the songs that they do in it, they're great songs. You can bop to them all day long. So yeah, right on. All right, and we're ending things off in 1977 with the legendary Nestor the Long-Eared Christmas Donkey. you heard that right, like. Man, oh man, this one, out of all of them, like, this one takes the cake. And so, like a lot of the other Christmas specials, this one as well was based off of a song that was pretty popular at the time. So this one ties everything together, because we start off in the North Pole watching Santa taking off for another flight, and then we focus in on Santa's donkey named Spielto. Did you know Santa had a donkey? Well, you know now. So Spielto tells us the story of Nestor, the long-eared Christmas donkey, who was actually Spielto's ancestor. So we're starting off in the northern part of the Roman Empire way back when at Olaf's Donkey Emporium. So he has a bunch of donkeys that love to make fun of Nestor for his ears, and that's just kind of the rigmarole around Christmas, I guess. There are some Roman soldiers who come looking for some young mules for some jobs here, and they get really insulted when they are given Nestor, and they're like, hey, you know what? We're gonna take these donkeys anyway, you keep this one, and we're gonna keep your money. So Olaf doesn't like that. He kicks Nestor out. Nestor's mother is like, oh my god. So she goes after him to save him, because there's a blizzard outside, so she has to protect him in this blizzard. After we find out in the blizzard, Nestor's mother dies in it, protecting Nestor. Oh my god, so like, I don't know how much more of emotional beating I can take over these Christmas ones here, jeez. So after Nestor's kind of walking around here and there, he comes across this cherub named Tilly, and she's like, hey, you know what? There's some big things in store for you. You're wonderful, you're awesome, like, keep your chin up there, kid. Now, eventually, long story short, he eventually winds up getting given to Mary and Joseph, because they need to go to Bethlehem, and they need a donkey, so he's a pretty good one. Of course, there is a major sandstorm that is happening, and Tilly's voice is leading Nestor towards Bethlehem, and of course his big ears can kind of hear the voice, so very reminiscent of Rudolph and the snowstorm, so nice little touch there. So eventually, Mary and Joseph make it to the stable where Jesus is going to be born, and all is good. And you don't see Nestor there because he took off kind of before the birth, and so that's why he's not really part of the nativity scene. But he was there, as they say. And he goes back to Olaf's factory there, and everyone's happy with him and loves him. So it's kind of a nice ending to a story here. It's a really bizarre one, and it just kind of, it does have its charms, and it is kind of neat to see some of this new wacky character kind of in the old times there. So I'll still give it a thumbs up here. So yeah, good job, Nesta. And of course, we have some throwbacks to some of the old phases in the Rankin Bass universe here. Of course, we got Santa's North Pole Workshop. We also see some puppets kind of reused from The Year Without Santa Claus, like Jingle and Jangle and that version of Mrs. Claus, which is pretty good. Also, Nestor gets some socks for his ears to cover them up, and that's what happened to Vixen as well in The Year Without Santa Claus, so that's a really nice nod. And of course, you get to see Rudolph, I think from the Rudolph Shiny New Year, that kind of version of him, and you see all the other reindeer as well. So everything is, yeah, kind of nicely tied together. So the Drummer Boy specials and the Nestor specials are connected together as well. Obviously, with the whole nativity scene with Mary and Joseph traveling to Bethlehem and with the three kings. In the Nestor special, we can almost just barely see Aaron. He is standing next to the three kings at the nativity scene, and as the scene is fading out, that's when he kind of comes into view. So again, just another awesome example of world building and adding new characters to a central story. It's just really well done. Alright, and that's the end of Phase 4 here, so I hope you really liked it. We've seen a lot of new things, a lot of pretty awesome characters and some good songs, and yeah, there's some really good things to dig out of that, so awesome. So thanks again for watching. I hope you have a great day. Thanks.